Hi everyone, my name is SamElliott64 and you're listening to the RoboCast. Hello everyone, my name is SamElliott64 and welcome back to the RoboCast with myself, Steve the American Killjoy, World of Woodrow and David of Smeg. And as you can probably tell by the title, it's a very special and unique podcast today because not only is it the last one of 2023, it is the last one that I will be a part of going forward for the RoboCast. Yeah, bit of a strange thing to be kind of dropping. I know, so sad, so sad. But yeah, it's been kind of...
with it.
It's been a bit of a thought on my mind for a good while. I think I mentioned it to you guys like before season 7 had even started. I think way back when. So you know, it's kind of come to this point where I'm like, okay, I'm happy to move on. And you three did such a good job without me. You don't need me anymore.
We've interviewed such people as Jeff
Waters and Jeff Waters.
Yeah. And we're fine, you know?
Absolutely.
And you'll be glad to know our first guest when you leave
will be Jeff.
Could you imagine the first main event would be
it's actually
Jack
it's
Fox.
the Jeff Waters cast now.
I see.
Make him host 5 because we already have host 4. Well, then what does it make David? So
That's fine because
I'm making way, and then you know Matt Vasquez can still be the
Matt
unofficial
Vasquez is
fourth
coming
host.
in. Yeah. So it works out.
It does work out.
He's hosting the show going forwards.
Yeah, he's actually the main host. We're all fired. We're all leaving. This is it.
True story.
It's a reboot, you know, soft
do you
reboot.
Do you want to go into any of the some of the factors of why?
yeah,
Okay, so I mean, the first one is I've done this for 7 years now, and I mean, if you look at the list of people who we've interviewed now, like we've interviewed basically everyone who with the exception of one person that I really wanted to interview, but there are reasons for why we can't talk to John Reed.
John Reed doesn't do this sort of
he
thing.
doesn't.
no,
he doesn't.
it just
We
doesn't.
did ask him in Vegas, and we got
He was real sweet about it. But he's
appreciate
like, no.
it massively, but I
Thanks,
don't
but no thanks.
Really do it.
Yeah.
So,
Which is fine. You know, we've
enough.
you know, I've chatted with John a lot in person. He's a good boy, and we like him a lot.
We'll find out where he lives and we'll just do a live podcast there. It's all good.
Well, there are pictures. They've shared pictures on Robot Wars of his shed. You know, of his
we
his
know the
garage.
people to talk to if we want to find out where he lives.
Exactly.
Yes.
We've had this conversation.
We
with
know
certain
multiple
individuals.
people builders that know where he lives.
Certain people who have wandered past his house and gone,
No.
Thank you, Mr. Strang. But another big factor as well is not too long from now, I'm going to be a dad. So that's going to happen in, well, we think at the time of recording in around 6 weeks' time, which is a little bit exciting.
Do you know if boy or girl? Do you have a name picked out?
We've got some names picked out for either way, but we don't know what flavour of baby we're having yet. No.
Okay. Surprise.
terror hurts.
I have so. Again, for context, I actually banned any robot-related names. I know Shane Lale, bless him, in the UK. His little one is now with us, and her name is Matilda. And I feel
It's
bad
perfect.
because it is.
Yeah.
I feel bad
adorable,
because Sophie did originally kind of think, okay, let's do Matilda, but because of the Roald Dahl book, because she really likes that book and film, and I'm like, I can't, I just can't.
There's reasons.
But
It's
she could
too
be
much.
the little matriarch of mayhem. You don't know.
No, if it was a girl, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
What about that one Jonathan Pierce quote where he calls dead metal dead Michelle?
I must have missed that one. When was that?
I don't recall that
It's
either.
in the reboot at some point.
To be fair, Dead Metal in the reboot is
one of the
a
international
girl.
episodes. It's
It's
World
female, yeah.
Series. Yeah.
Yeah, but dead metal on the birth certificate doesn't have the right ring to it.
No, it doesn't. I think it might be quite difficult.
Kill a lot.
No, I think it'd be a press to get it past any legal documentation. I think.
Yeah, no.
It'd be a bit worrying if you just called her Growler instead. It's not good. It's not good.
Thanks, everyone. Good
Yeah,
night.
that's it. Good night. That's the end. That is the end. You may also have noticed it, obviously, in more recent episodes. Obviously, this year in particular, I've missed 2 podcasts, and David has very ably stepped up. That's because David is coming in as the permanent third host, taking over from me. So, yeah, well done on the promotion, David. I hope
Hope it's not a surprise.
It's fine. It's fine because we've still got Matty and backup, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah. We're all good. We're all good then.
In fact, Steve, you've done a bit of research, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Well, I will get into what I had planned to share with you, Sam. But since I've come down with the illnesses.
He's got bot flu without going to a bot event. It's amazing.
I don't understand. I don't know
He's
how
actually just
scratchy I
sniffed
sound
a
over the
robot.
microphone. There you go. You just ground it up and just went.
Do that, you know. The filings is not safe.
No,
his lungs are now just like liquid.
So
just full of
there
filings.
is. I did a run through of all the episodes and all the people that we've interviewed.
Oh right. Okay.
If I do it based upon the number of guests we had, like individual people, we've interviewed over 100 people.
Wow.
I got the count. It's approximately 116 people, which I think is remarkable.
That's amazing.
Across both Robot Wars and BattleBots, and I think that's a testament to your spearheadedness, having this, this whole that we're gonna get this done.
I think for me as well, I do have to kind of from the start. I mean, when we first started, me and Anderson was going to come on the podcast today, but he's got other engagement. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to.
He's a responsible adult these days.
He is as well. So when we first started RoboCast back, what was Robot Wars reviewed way back in 2016? We're going right back
in the day.
Kind of our first thought when the show came up was like, okay, this is great. We love Robot Wars. We've loved Robot Wars forever. We've talked about it forever. We've debated it forever. Let's debate it online. It'd be great. And then we kind of thought, do you know what would be really good if we managed to get one of the teams on one time? That'd be really cool, wouldn't it? Suffice to say, we think we managed that a little bit later on.
Just a few.
Just a few.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share this spreadsheet with you later, Sam, because I feel like it's really interesting to go through all the names and because I know early on, a good friend of yours, and I hope he's doing well. Dave Laurie was huge and instrumental in being a constant guest early on.
He was on again. I don't. It's very sad. I don't really talk to Dave much very more. It's a bit of a shame. Kind of he's not really doing robots at all anymore.
Yeah, we move on. Sometimes things change.
But I owe him an awful amount of thanks. I really do, because without him I wouldn't have met Craig Croucher, and without him I wouldn't have met Joe Brown and Felix Townsend and the rest of the Mingo crew and the wider BBB kind of field, which I've kind of been pulled into as well, which is really lovely. It's without Dave initially kind of just being like, oh, this is pretty fun. This isn't inside the bot. They're actually nice to people. I said
it's fine. He's retiring. He can get away with it.
I said it.
He's heading out anyway.
The views of SamElliott64 are not the views of the RoboCast going forwards.
But that was what it was. At the time, there was a lot of they were nice people, but it's just they weren't particularly complimentary about the robots that weren't super high tech, destroyer of worlds. And I felt like there was a market for that, and there is a market for that.
The RoboCast was definitely the everyman's or every person's robot podcast. I feel I feel when I first came on board, we kind of aimed to get winners of fights quite a lot, and I think that's partly my bad, because it's let's aim big, let's get them.
But we don't ultimately we also don't specifically just go for the winners every time. We do try.
No, this is it.
Generally, we aim for people people that have interesting fights or have an interesting. We give you our guest criteria selection process for anyone who's interested in it.
Yeah.
We kind of look at who's got an interesting fight this week. Have we spoken to them before? Have we, would they have something interesting to say? Could we pick their minds about other topics that they can relate to in the episode, that kind of thing.
Have they already been interviewed this week by another podcast?
I promise we do try and not clash with Behind the Bots and Outside the Box, but it's very hard. It's very hard.
Yeah.
We have a big group chat with all of us in.
Yeah.
We will be ceremoniously kicking Sam out of it very soon.
Yeah, I might get in there at some point.
No. It's highbrow.
Steve, you were saying.
Go on, Steve.
Oh yeah. So just going over I was just curious. I started doing host counts. I just shared the picture all with you.
I think so. I think Matt's first, right? Matt's got 10.
I find this very Vasquez. I believe he has 9. If I did the count, if I did the count 10. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I have.
We were going to do a 10th with him, and then we didn't.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think number 2. It's either going to be Tom Brewster or Michael Oates. I think.
Wow, you're really close.
See? Come
So number two, I did this here. I did like a rankings on the sheet. Number two is Tom Brewster. He was on 6 times.
Okay, so he's just overtaken Michael Oates then, because Michael Oates has 5.
And yes, and then Michael Oates is 3, but there's also another one with 5 who helped us out a lot, especially when we started doing the battle.
Misha DeGraff, of course.
He came to our rescue many times when we didn't have a guest and said, hey.
Jevan, when you mentioned obviously when you came on board, I think that's kind of when we really stepped up. It was like, okay, let's try and take this a little bit seriously, and try and up the production quality a little bit. I think
one of the things that I got briefed on when I came on board, because I started doing the thumbnails and everything as well at the same time. Yeah, and
he still does.
And
the
big thing that we wanted to do was make it clickbaity without being clickbaity, and the big thing was putting the Roboteer on the thumbnail.
Yeah, because faces are. I mean, YouTube has said this, and many other YouTube help channels have shown this, that having a face on that thumbnail helps click through. It just does. So, yeah.
I think it's gone well, but it was going well before I came on board, and I must say, I was thinking about this the other day because I knew we were recording this weekend. I was a massive fan of the Robot Wars review, and when it became the RoboCast and everything, before I knew anybody in this little social group we now have. This was the podcast I listened to, and it was before I knew Anderson, who was like the first person I met. But yeah, it's crazy really thinking about the journey of coming on board of this show to be a part of the team now, because I was a fan of it before. It's just peculiar. It's one of those things that I'm like, strange. I've said the Sam quote as well. It's one of those things.
You have.
You've
become Sam.
Oh no.
Yeah. All you have to say is that all you have to say is something controversial, and then we'll say we're off the air, because that was one of your things when we were kids.
We are off
Sam
the air.
too. All the time we are off the air, because we'd say something real out of the woods, and be like, "Yep, that's it. We're finally gonna get taken down."
I'll be still going in the year of our Lord.
It's all right. That's my challenge going forward. I've got to make sure that we get cancelled at least one time an episode.
Yeah. I think, as I was saying, Jevan, you came in the 2020 season.
I did, yeah. My first ones, I guested on the, dare I say the words, BattleBots.
Yeah. I can't wait to share this list with you, Sam, because it's really interesting to see when people it was hard to figure out, because I asked the boys, I'm like, when do you guys consider yourselves being fully on, aside from just guesting? You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's a
it's main series, isn't it?
I would say Steve, for you, I'd say it was 2018 when we started doing...
It was 2018. It was World Championship 3.
When we started doing BattleBots, yeah.
And then Jevan was World Championship 5.
Yeah.
And now David was World Championship 7. We're talking Ultimate Previews, so we have that all in common. So now we know that we're adding someone new when World Championship 9 Ultimate Preview comes. There you go.
Matt Vasquez.
Yeah, it'll come on board for World Championship 9.
And, for me, that year was kind of like the one where we kind of really rocketed, because we... Given the fact that I am from the UK, and as was Anderson, obviously Steve, you're not, but we generally trended towards the UK teams and the European teams, because they were the ones who were most readily available, the most kind of easy to contact. I obviously knew Tom really well. 2020 was like, well, there are no UK teams, there are no European teams. Who are we going to talk to? So we just started reaching out to a lot of the American guys, and honestly, not even just the American guys, everyone who's ever been on with us and has been so generous with their time. Just thank you so much. The amount of hours and hours and hours that people have kind of given up for nothing, and just kind of we'll talk about robots with you guys. It's really, really heartwarming.
I'll add a comment in the comment section below of how many hours we've done, because I was going to do that, now I forgot to do it, and I don't want to know.
Do I want to know?
But speaking of comments, it's been very cool as I've been going through, and did I say what my surprise was gonna be?
No, go on.
No. So I was trying to put together a highlights package of all the stuff that we've been in for the entire run that you've been on the show, and I think I'm gonna make it a Christmas present, because that's doable for me.
I'll tell you, we'll post it online after. Maybe we'll aim for Christmas, if not maybe New Year, for when
that's the goal.
When Steve's not dying, we'll get it out.
I've tried, and I've put together a bunch of good ones. It's been very funny to listen to some of our old, some of the
horrendous takes that they have aged so poorly.
It is good. I've seen the clip show so far.
Yeah, I've got a couple that are pretty good.
Do we have any terrible takes? Or do I have anything that's aged really well?
I guess that's a good question that I don't have a good answer to, but yeah, there might be something in there possibly. I feel like I was warm on Tantrum really early, where I really liked especially when they moved to the puncher, even before it was angled. You know, because I was very impressed with Boxing Champion overseas. I figured it had a lot of potential, but who knew it would have gone on to be a champion? I've always been very proud to have been kind of ahead of that, I guess, you know, for having one good take out of 100.
You're a Tantrum hipster, we know this. Okay. I'm not jealous.
From one Tantrum hipster to another there.
Exactly.
Oh, I also don't want to forget there's two other people we've had 5 times. We already talked about Dave. He was on 5 times, but Craig was on 5 times, and he added his 5th one just this most recent.
Yes.
Yeah, this Craig Danby, this most recent Champions run. So he's popped into the top 3 on guests that we've had. He's just a lovely guy.
Oh, he's wonderful, isn't he? He's just
good.
Top bloke. And he's on Destructathon soon, isn't he?
He's next week.
Yeah. Was it next week? Okay.
Next week.
It's
when we're recording.
next weekend.
It's next week. So the 18th, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, but I did some really interesting counts for hosting. So with you, Sam, you've only, I mean, of the 158 episodes of
just 2.
Both RoboCast, you've only missed 2.
I know, and they're both this year.
They're both this year.
Both with Jeff.
Yeah, both.
I have nothing against Jeff, by the way. Just to throw out, like, it just happened to be the 2 times we spoke to Jeff.
It is incredible how that happened.
I know.
Yeah,
he's not telling the truth there.
I am.
I had missed Jonathan. I'd missed talking with Jake. Ace. You know, things just happen.
He said he actually refuses to talk to you until you make heavyweight ace. So.
Yeah.
So going through the
big
rest of
Supreme
us,
Ruler. That's all it is.
We've seen it already. It's called Domino.
Yeah,
Domino.
Oh,
It didn't do well.
So going through the rest of us, I'm second with 113. That makes sense because I've been the second longest running post of this for a while. Jevan's actually overtaken Anderson. He's at 67.
Let's go.
Two more to go. 2 more to go, Jevan. Yeah, 2 more to go.
Yeah, and then you can quit.
Two more to go for the funny.
You can cancel yourself for the second episode. It's fine.
Anderson was on for 55. David's been on for 16. So that's the entire run of this past season and Champions.
It still feels more than I thought. You know, I thought I've only done like 10. But
yeah, and we've had guests early on. We had were times where Anderson had to pop out, you know, or you know we needed somebody to fill out the group. We have friends of ours that would build. Yep, Mr. Psycho. Yep. He was in one. Charlie Hubbard, Good Rebottle. He was in one. Ryan Britley of Spinnerproof, he was in 2, and then Jim Jamatic, he was in 2, and then our friend Matt Vasquez, I said, with 9 because he's our honorary 4th host. So how can I not put him on the list?
Exactly.
But yeah, that was a really fun thing to do, to go through and just kind of figure out, how we've done this over, and your first guest. Who was your first guest, Sam? You remember?
So, it was Master.
I mean, it was Master Wrath. It was Chris. Yeah,
it was
it was Mr. Pruitt. Yeah, that was for the Series 8 Ultimate Preview.
Yeah,
well, it's 2016 Series 8.
Yeah,
whatever you call it.
It was a weird time because as I said, we wanted to talk about Robot Wars when it came out, and obviously we did that, and I don't think
we've been talking about Robot Wars ever since we were teenagers, Sam. You know that because I've known you about, I think, since 2010.
Yeah, so probably about nearly 15 years now.
Yeah,
which is scary to think
about.
It's
wild.
You only finally met each other this year.
No, that's not true.
We met before.
That's true.
Yeah, we met before.
This is a funny story. I don't know if I've ever told this on the podcast.
We went bowling together.
We did, yeah. You were dating somebody over here, and you just happened to be like a town over for me, and you called me, and I'm like, where are you? And I will be there in however long it takes me to get there. And then we hung out, we bowled, and we went and got, did we go get ice cream afterwards?
We got Dairy Queen.
Or food. Yeah. We got Dairy Queen, because that's an American thing to do.
Yep.
And
then we didn't see each other again until like a couple months ago.
Yeah, that was the most recent
this
time.
was the story I didn't know about.
Yeah,
okay.
Me and Steve met once many years. He was I think the first person out of anyone on YouTube really I'd met. I hadn't met Anderson, but yeah. Wow. Yeah, so you were the first person I met. And then
I'm honored.
Yeah. There you go. You see?
So I managed to get most of mine done in one bunch because we had Robo Nerd.
Yes.
After
which I still need to. It's still on my bucket list.
Was that
but I had met Anderson a month prior to that in person.
Yes. Was that 2019?
Yes.
8 or 18.
Yeah, it was the
2019.
it was the one before COVID, because thankfully there was something already that had happened before, so you had a foundation, and then you just were able to. That COVID year, Robo Nerd, is still very impressive how you guys are able to pull that off, considering all the boundaries that we had.
Something started during that Robo Nerd that are haunting me to this day. You know,
I think that
something rather massive.
Robo Nerd was sort of where I started to join the podcast, because me and you, Sam,
we did the Mortis one, didn't we?
Mortis chat,
yeah,
which was fantastic. It's still one of the highlights for me from anything we've recorded, anyway.
Yeah.
You know what stuck with me, Jevan? When you were first coming on, because when you had just started kind of gaining traction with Robot Wars and YouTube, I had started watching a lot of your content, and then.
Look at me now.
Yeah,
disheveled and
look how you've
broken.
grown. But there was one comment you made that it still sticks with me. He said you had said that being a guest on this podcast was being on Graham Norton, which I love him.
Yeah.
So it just felt very conversational and friendly, and like that's exactly the idea of what we wanted. You know, the fact that you had that reaction is, I think, exactly kind of the field that we were going for. We didn't want it to be like a oh, you're not in the club kind of thing. You know, it's
everyone's in the club ultimately.
Exactly.
You know, that's we want to share our passion for our silly little sport that we have, because it's not like we do this for an hour a week and then we don't think about robot combat at all. Like, end of the day, we all compete. We all built robots ourselves. We've all driven around countries, flown to different countries, and this is absolutely our passion that we've had since we were
it doesn't pay the bills. We don't pay.
Oh no!
If anything, it causes me crippling debt.
Yeah,
we will never financially recover from robot combat.
No,
we know that.
Well, I've just financially recovered from Vegas last year.
I was going to say,
Congratulations!
Well,
You got to go
you.
again.
Ready to go for round 2. It is weird that we go to Vegas and spend 2 weeks in a warehouse watching.
Well, this is
it's not a warehouse; it's a tent.
Okay,
it?
a glorified tent then.
A tent on the run to turn 5, or turn 4, wherever it was on the track.
It was between 4 and 5, wasn't it?
No one can tell. Nobody could see it.
Nobody could tell. They were just running over a drink that weren't really put down properly.
Absolutely.
He's got a thing. He's found
it'll be for later. I just remembered.
Okay.
It's got a thing.
But yeah. Sam, before I forget, because I know we do have some questions from fans that we wanted to get to you. We didn't let them know that you were leaving.
This will come as a massive, horrific shock.
I know. Everyone's heads going to explode. Like, what? Why?
But I will say, having watched, just like Jevan, having watched, you guys, for you and Anderson and anybody you guys had on, I always try to, like with your interview style, you find that you have this very easy way of getting stories out of people. I don't know if it's just natural talent or you just practiced, it's just something that just comes, it just seems to come naturally. And you're going to shake your head and say no. But that's the way. When I listen back, especially when I'm listening back and doing all these highlights, it just seems to be something you kind of had the knack for. And it fit, I feel like I feel like we're patting each other on the back. But it's just, what I mean? It's just like, that's honestly how I feel. I've always kind of admired that. So
thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure you'll obviously, I know I'll be disappearing. I'm sure I'll be about if one of you guys are.
Oh, absolutely.
One of us, probably me, will be stuck on a train after an event.
Exactly.
So,
You'll be stuck on a train. I'll be dead on my ass.
Yeah. I will be the emergency backup if required.
You're the new me, essentially.
Off the bench.
I'll have crippling back pain. Somehow,
that's it.
But
holding up the show with your crippling back.
Honestly,
gotta work on my core.
Exactly.
Go to the gym. But honestly, I don't really practice anything. I don't, we until this year or last year, we literally didn't like write anything down for questions. Obviously, since we started, we've never done scripts. We don't do
not
scripts.
Really. No,
having worked with Behind the Bots and Outside the Box a few times, they obviously write loads of notes and they write them all down on Google
Spinnerproof too.
Docs.
Ryan and Sam both did that.
Never done that. It's something I don't think the quality is any worse or better. We just kind of
we have always told the guests that we are ridiculously unprofessional, and they can always tell because some form of IT will go wrong.
God.
Something will go wrong. Whether it's like my Zoom that's crashing,
I tell you what.
or
I tell you what.
Steve's late.
I'll say.
Like that.
I'll say one thing. Okay. Of all the bad things that came out of the pandemic, video conference calls, amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So good. Thank Christ.
How long did we have to use Skype
Pamela
to record?
with Skype?
No, I do not. I do not. It was honestly like
that's how we used to do the recordings. It was an app called Pamela, and you would be able to record Skype calls. This is stuff we did when we were kids, recording stupid stuff for YouTube. It's just what we had. It wasn't a good tool.
So we've got
Zoom is like a world better than whatever we used to use.
You can record audio channels on Zoom
separately. It's amazing. I like how we all went for the jazz hands there as well. That's so good.
I think it's just a Mexican wave, just out of step.
It's amazing that no one realized that this would be a nice tool to have, for people like us, or for classrooms and stuff like that. I work at a university. I work at a university. I've been there. I'll be there 4 years this coming February. I don't know what we would have done without Zoom. To be able to do hybrid learning and to be able to have, recordings and have interaction with students, and shoot, I wouldn't be able to be going for my master's right now had it not been for Zoom. It's a great tool, and I feel like we've done a decent job, utilizing it. I think we've done just all right.
It's where the podcast has become less editing for Sam.
Yeah,
it was a conscious decision of let's just share the screen.
It's a big deal. The fact that you can share something, it's like doing a live stream, but recording it while you're doing it. So and that's a huge feature.
Yeah, my PC's okay. It does a job, but it takes long. Like every episode that you see on YouTube or on or you listen to on Spotify or whatever audio platforms of your choice that you want to use, at least double of the runtime of the podcast itself is just rendering the video versions of these. It takes a long time to do. It's not necessarily just like chopping it together and putting it together. It's I'm clicking render and it needs to save, and I need to leave my PC alone. A lot of the time it's overnight and just leave it on.
Ever since we've added,
sometimes you have to do it twice.
We've added the video component now. Where that I feel like that's helped a lot. I feel like it's helped with interactivity. It's nice to be able to see the face and be able to see the reactions and the laughs.
Some of the guests bring on little props and things.
Oh my god, how cool has it been? I mean, I feel like
Donald
you've said
Hudson
it in the past.
one. The Donald Hudson one.
That was so cool.
He just moves out of the way.
Yeah, Dissector's just there. That is one of the highlights.
It's just chilling there.
That is one of them.
It's fine.
That was so good. That was
we didn't notice the whole time.
I know.
It's nice to have visual gags like that. Just fun stuff.
I mean, it's things that me and Jevan are continuing to do now. Like I will always stick something in the background on the bed for like an episode. Jevan will just have something in the background. Steve, when he's putting his background on, will have something there.
I try to. My camera doesn't quite pick it up normally.
Can I turn? Let me see if I can.
There's normally Meg or Terry in the background for you, Sam.
Yeah, it's true.
This has been one of my favorite ones to put on because I did this project with this old slot machine I got when I was in middle school, like for like a fundraiser or something like that, and they asked you to pick out what, like you sold chocolates or something like that, and they'd be like, oh, you sold this many, you get a prize or something. So I had this old beat up, really crummy looking slot machine. I'm like, why not make it BattleBotsified?
Jazzy.
Yeah.
And then it broke.
Oh no.
So I got the picture, but it doesn't work anymore. But at least I got that. It was a fun
the
little
image
project
there. It's all good.
Yeah, it was fun. And I have an angel and a devil, or you can switch that, on my shoulder, constantly trying to, maybe
make you gamble. Both of them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't need to
tell
you
you don't need
gamble,
encouragement.
No.
Oh, where did he go? Right?
He's off to the toilet again.
He's been gone to the loo for a while.
Just sitting at video poker.
Poke my head out of the bar. Oh, no, there he is. Sat by.
He's not in the loo. We can see him outside the pub.
They shouldn't put things next to the.
It's Vegas. What do you expect?
They're everywhere. They were in the airport.
It's a matter of time before you close the door for
there wasn't gambling in the urinals.
It'll be right there. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I feel like we've talked about Sam and Jevan. With David, your introduction to this whole podcastiness. Well, you were already doing Lego Wars at the time.
I mean, so we'll
timeline's a little funky for me.
We'll wind it back to just after me being the awkward nerd in the corner at RoboNerd 2019, where I actually see like Jevan and Sam there, and just Sam's celebrating something. Oh, that's nice. And I just binged the RoboCast like 1 month of 4 years worth.
Back then it was terrible as well. Like, you poor thing.
Yeah, I went from the very beginning all the way through. Past my one rage moment of like 2018, and like it got up to 2019. It's like, okay, I'm up to date. Let's listen to. I think it's probably Buggle. Buggle was probably when I was up to date. Buggle 2 when I was up to date.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, I'm in a group chat. Oh, there's somebody called Shit the Graham Norton. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. And then it just continued on from there. And yeah.
And it's just escalated ever since.
It has escalated out of control.
David, of all three of us, is the only one on an actual BattleBots team.
That is true.
Because David, next season, by the way, at the time of recording, we still don't know when next season's going to be.
No, we still
don't know. If anybody says they know,
all there is right now are rumors. Right now. That's all we have.
We kind of piecing it together a little bit by the Destructathon dates. There's a big 4-week gap in February, which we think could be where they put a series, but again, they haven't said anything yet, and it's kind of getting to a point now where it's like, they probably should say soon.
It's the age-old thing with BattleBots of it's next week. And you should keep following it as next week until it isn't actually next week.
Just keep an eye on Teams pages in case they, drop hints here and there.
Unless it's a Danby page, because don't trust him bringing Bombshell across again, because it's not Bombshell. It's actually Mammoth he's bringing.
There you go.
But yeah, David of course will be on the Scorpios team next season whenever it rolls around.
Yes.
What's your role on the Scorpios team, David? I don't think we've really discussed it yet.
I mean, I'm helping out a lot with the Builder blog. That is first and foremost my job of helping out with the Builder blog. So that way, like Zach and Diana aren't having to spend as much time recording stuff compared to like actually building the robot. Because there's a lot of stuff going on with New Scorpios. Like, follow the blog. There's New Scorpios. There's a lot of things going on.
Very cool.
And we need to make sure it works.
I remember that you were going to be chief bricklayer.
No, that's Will. He's already taken out on the team. But it's already the Lego takeover on the Scorpios team. It's gotten out of control.
Are you going to have to make a full-size weapon arm for Scorpios?
Full Lego Scorpios.
Through customs. That's the problem.
Just get Will to build it his side. It's fine.
Those giant model cars that are full Lego, like the Lego Bugattis and things like that. Like full Lego Scorpios, David. That's your challenge for 24.
Oh God. No,
I will never
pressure.
recover.
No, literally, he'll never have money ever again.
No. What is money? What even is money?
It's true.
As somebody who works in finance, what even is money?
It's a figment of your imagination.
It's figment of imagination for repeats, and just more bits of HDPE, and that's it.
It's true. All right. I believe you have some questions for me.
Yeah, should we go through them?
Yeah, right. You want me to do the first one, Jevan?
You take the first one. And actually, no, David will take the first one.
Let's do David do the first one,
because it's my question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it true that Sam tried to break Lego Wars recording this year?
I did break Lego Wars recording this year.
And there you go. That's the answer.
The reason that's there.
So honest.
So the fighting question that kind of broke Lego Wars recording this year was emulator.
Which one?
The one was emulator and
Muffin,
that was it. And I was driving Muffin, and Jevan just all he had to do was just chop me in half, and he didn't do it.
I removed the dog's skin at the very end.
Yeah, but I pitted you, and then you were very upset for the rest of the day.
It was my birthday weekend as well.
It was
He ruined his birthday weekend. I mean, the one that sticks to mind even more was Block of Napalm v Annie.
Oh,
yes.
It's just like, you should. There was Block of Napalm has no right to win a fight, and then just Jevan has driven towards the pit. The pit has opened. Jevan is down the pit. Raw audio is on the episode. Listen to it. It's funny. I'll be dropping the full clip later on.
The big one I have is where you hide P1 in a corner and refuse to move it.
I do
that happened too.
And then argued in its favour for the judge's decision. I'm like...
Yeah,
it wasn't aggressive.
Look,
I
prefer the judging criteria of shithousery as opposed to aggression. So I'd
like to point out there's more stuff as well that Sam and Strang recorded that is coming out on the 22nd, and there is more stuff that they have affected that's cursed that episode as well.
You will see.
They are welcome back anytime.
Yes,
I'm very excited.
Steve, go for it.
Oh, right, it's my turn. All right, this is going to be a really tough question, but you're going to try hard to get your answer out. What is your favorite BattleBot in the reboot seasons? This comes from over-engineered Lego robots.
It's not hard at all.
No.
It's Shatter.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
I was going to say it would be Shatter.
Like,
okay.
So I'll give some reason as to why. Okay, I would say it's Shatter. So when I first, so I've actually been rewatching King of Bots recently. I've been watching the first series because it's on Mech Plus at the moment. Yeah, Blue.
Thank heavens. So good to finally have that in understandable English for us.
Yeah, when I first saw Blue, I was like, oh my god, it goes sideways. How does it do that? Because at this point, I'd not really built many robots, and I think the only robot I had any kind of involvement with was Mingo 1, and that was built on a farm in a weekend. So seeing something like Blue, which is like, it moves sideways, it's straight, I'm like, oh my god, how does it do that? And then obviously the hammer was amazing, and seeing Shatter come to BattleBots, it just looked just so good. The first one with all the silver, geometric patterns was just stunning, absolutely stunning, and it's only got better ever since, every year. And I love that robot so much. Obviously Terahertz was my favourite robot way back in the day in Robot Wars, and when it came back it was great as well, but Shatter is just something special. I love that robot so much.
I think as a podcast team, we definitely stand Bots FC.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
100%.
I can see
all
of the
things
behind
in the background,
you.
basically.
I mean,
both scarves.
And that's true.
Emulator,
which
is Lego Emulsifier, and Shatterstar, which is based off of
Knock Off White.
Behind my PC screens, there is a little copper bar, which is like where the hot water goes into the bathroom behind it, and there are all 3 Bots FC scarves from over the years.
Anybody noticed in the on the wall of Lego Wars this year, there is an actual Shatter triangle
from the Horizon fight as well.
There you go.
Will that be a theme going forward of adding memorabilia to that wall, David? Just like
of course.
There's already a Tantrum bit in there, isn't there?
There's bits of Tantrum, there's bits of Scorpios. I've got a couple more bits to add on there for the new year, so that'll be work in the off season along with fixing things.
Oh yeah.
Rip the spikes.
Yeah. Poor spikes. The screws have picked up where they left off a little bit. It's nice to have some.
Well, thanks to Philo on that one.
Yeah. Good to have some treachery in the arena.
Philo.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Philo.
What is the BattleBot with the most potential in your eyes, Sam? That comes from the Bot Jammer.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. That's tough.
Be ready for this to age like milk if you do it. Make the wrong decision,
I was gonna say.
He's leaving now. He can say anything.
No.
Okay.
You can't curse Tantrum.
Have we? Okay. Manta.
Okay.
I can see that.
I think
I can't see the potential personally.
No.
So I'm gonna.
He's found a loophole.
I'm gonna go for a full balls to the wall prediction here. If we do see season 8, Manta will get top 4 minimum.
I think that's a fair assumption.
Okay.
Watch you get absolutely ass blasted in the first fight.
Yeah, it's not going to make it into the bracket.
No,
it's going to lose all 4 fights by fire.
Yeah.
I got a question after recording for you guys afterwards, but we'll let the viewers think about what I'm thinking of. Maybe I'll bring it up in the future. Maybe I'll bring it up in another Ultimate preview. This question will happen whether or not, like, if it's the Ultimate preview or we're talking about BattleBots getting axed. This question will still come out. Just think about that for next year. I have something I can ask you guys later.
Look forward to it.
There's just a question that says why. from Striker, just why? Just
why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
we're here.
Yeah,
I mean that could be anything.
That's actually that's Wobbuffet. Why not's the little one?
Oh, of course. I should have known. Why didn't you tell me? Like,
wow,
it's gone now.
A little bit of Wobbuffet, a little bit of Rimmer, all of it.
Exactly.
All right, next question. This comes in from Stephanie Spooner. Does that say Illinois? We'll go with that.
Yeah.
What BattleBots team would you wish to be a part of and why?
Ooh.
Does it tie in with a previous answer, or are you going to go a different route?
Okay. That's tough. That is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
I've been teammates with Tom Brewster before. And I get on with him really well, and I get on with Sarah and Tim and Rory really, really well, and they're a great team.
Yeah, I feel like you could just plug right in there.
Yeah,
that's an option.
I would have.
It's a safe option.
No, it is. It's the safe option. I would have loved to have done 2020 BattleBots with Mingo too. I think that'd have been, or 21. Yeah, that'd have been so much fun. I think it would have been fun to go there. We'd have been destroyed in fight 1, and then we've had a horrendous time for 2 weeks. I think that's how it would have gone.
Yeah,
especially that's how it would be now.
Yeah,
but this is going to be, I think, of a left field choice here. I'd go with Team Shreddit.
Really? All right, cool.
I feel like them for the night out afterwards, I think would be great fun.
Them for the tournament, they're so fun to hang out with.
Yeah, and having spoken to Evan and Tony as well,
you will get whipped.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I was going to say, what will happen?
Yeah. My choice would probably be Omega because we get along very well with a lot of the players on that team.
There is no wrong answer here.
There really isn't.
But I think
there are many teams that would be lovely to do.
If I wasn't going to go with Monsoon, I think that's probably the obvious choice. I'd probably go with Team Shreddit. I think they're good fun.
I've just thought I'm the only one who didn't actually get abused during Vegas. Like, I mean, Steve, just thinking back, it's like Steve had a moment with Danby.
I forgot about that.
That was a nice moment. It felt odd at the moment, but after I let it kind of set in, I'm like, it came from a place of love. It's okay.
That's another team I'd consider being a part of. I think
of course,
Chris and Craig are going with quite a lot.
Because you'd have fun.
Exactly.
You know you would have fun. Win or lose, you'd have fun.
A team where you can have a laugh and just enjoy yourself and beat yourself. That's what you want, really.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This question comes from Tarasaurus. Which one of the hosts has the better YouTube channel?
Oh,
I can answer this one as well. I think
I can as well. I think it's David and Smeg.
I believe it's David.
I don't know who you mean.
I think it's David and Smeg.
I think so too.
I'm not targeting Jevan on the subs at all. It's fine.
I haven't uploaded content consistently for a good long while. Steve's done it even less than I have.
Yeah.
That's because Sam and I will both remember we both used to play video games on the internet for a little while. That was a thing we both did.
It was good fun. I loved it. It was good fun.
Yeah, there was a time where you and your friend Leo, we would do post-coms. I think it's still up. Don't nobody look for it. It's the cringiest shit ever.
I'm gonna find it.
I think we will find it. We will share it.
I think it might be gone actually. I think I
we played Sonic Adventure 1 and we played Sonic R.
Yeah,
Sonic R was one of my favorite things we did because it was just funny.
That got views as well. That did like
10,000
a pop.
Of all the things, it was so odd.
It was great.
But I remember doing those from my college dorm room and just hanging out with you guys, and we were just shooting the breeze, and it was just fun. It's not like we were doing it for any for views, or it was something. It was a hobby. It was something fun to do. It was something to laugh about and kind of just hang out because we were talking anyway. And we oftentimes when we would hang out, with you, Chris Anderson, and I, we just would.
Just talk for hours
and just talk for hours and just BS about nothing, just because it's just what we did. The internet age, I feel like that's a thing a lot of people our age have done. It's just like I don't want to say it's the negative of like it's a look at me generation where sometimes it is, and I feel like that's more prevalent now because everyone's got a phone, everyone's got a camera, you see a lot of it. And I don't want to really go down that route, but it was just something fun for us to do, and I feel like it kind of naturally evolved into something like this, which is this has been a fun ride. I'm just glad that I feel like I lucked into this, because had I not met you or Anderson or Chris or any of the group that we've now become very close friends with, I feel like my life would be very different.
I agree. I'm the same.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. So just for context, everybody, David's computer has absolutely just shit itself and has just decided. And me, Jevan, and Steve have spent the last 20 minutes just losing our minds.
Yeah. David's probably dead. It's the end. Like Great Yarm has fallen into the sea.
Yeah, it's finally happened.
Apocalypse has finally
happened. David, you had a question for us.
I have a question.
Sentient.
Yes. Why did it have to be a wordy one after all this? Right.
Of course. And
a magical wizard allows you to create your dream robot instantly, no matter what the cost or complexity. What design do you ask for? That's apparently from Living Murphy's Law, because of course he wanted a wordy one on this.
Okay, so something makes my dream robot at will.
Yes.
Without any having to lift the finger, just say go.
You could make it at other Roboteers as well.
That's tough. That is tough.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, that's tricky.
Okay, what weapon?
Yes, let's at least start there.
Hammer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Has to be a hammer. I don't know. I mean,
the magical wizard is Philo.
It's tough when you have like no boundaries. It's very tricky.
That is tricky. Like, it's hard to kind of explain what you did, but I mean, my team's heavyweight is a hammer robot. I've loved hammer robots since ever. So, some kind of hammer. I'd love to do a super Mingo. Like Mingo at the moment is pretty handy. It does bully things around quite nicely now. We've been able to get some power on the floor.
Grip at last.
Exactly. Now we have, like, if you see any of the clips from the Ireland event, like, you'll see that we do have some fairly decent drive power now.
Yeah.
But I think we just lack a little bit in the weapon power department, but that's only because we have two of them, and we've kind of it does struggle a little bit. There's a few things we do want to change, but I would love to, if we had a blank check and, okay, do what you want with Mingo, that'd be amazing. But I'd love to take that further. But it'd be so tricky.
So Mingo's still your baby. That's the bot that, like, it's very hard to see past. Your
we don't turn up to win.
Yeah,
we turn up to have a good time and spend time with each other and have a laugh.
And that's the main thing.
But the thing is, we have the capability of winning fights. I think that's important as well. Like, you need to, like, if we turned up every single event and just got killed within 3 seconds, which does happen. It happens to all of us. We've been looted so many times by Eruption or Manta or whatever. It is a little bit disheartening. But
when you get the win over those robots, though,
it's even more special. When we fought Dietor in Ireland, for example, that is essentially Iron Ore 7. It's a brilliant robot. It's well driven. It's well maintained.
Biggest ram in the United Kingdom and Irish territories.
Yep, and it was such an honor to fight the Dietor team as well. That they're great, but to get a win over that robot with Mingo is just, it hits different. It really hits different.
Definitely. You go watching these people. I feel like we've had. The first time I went to an event, I think you might have the same feeling. You get like this kind
big
of
imposter syndrome, 100%.
Yeah, big time,
Definitely.
big imposter syndrome, and a little starstruck. But after maybe the first time or the second time, it kind of feels like you're just going to hang out with a bunch of friends that you've just that's just where you go.
My favorite story is Alex Mordew.
Yeah,
not for me specifically, but I can't remember if it was Buggle 1 or 2. But when he turned up,
it was Buggle 1.
Yeah, Buggle 1. So the story goes, he turned up to the event. Like, this is his first event he's done in quite a while. He obviously was with the Firestorm team back in classic Robot Wars. He went to Robot Wars Series 9 filming or 10 filming.
I think it was 9, wasn't it?
One of them. He went to one
just to kind of sniff and see what's going on. Not particular,
Yep. And he turned up to BattleBots with his robot Saw Loser, which is phenomenal. Has done really well in the UK. He's gone on to do really well at Norwalk Havoc as well. A brilliant robot. Brilliant robot. And he turns up, and obviously everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's Alex Mordew. He's the Firestorm guy."
Yeah.
And so the story goes, he had a little pullback Firestorm in his pocket, which he pulled out to everyone. He goes, "Ooh." so the story goes, and like everyone kind of was like, "Okay, he's cool."
I can see it.
Yeah.
And you interviewed him on RoboCast number 69.
We did.
Heat number 3.
Him and
Felix. Two
of my favorite people in the entire community. Like,
It is
and who'd have knew?
bizarre that we know him now, and like
I know.
We just go to KFC with him. It's fine.
we do. We go to KFC. He did one of our quizzes.
It's remarkable, and these are people. It's there's this separation. I feel like this happens sometimes, like when you watch BattleBots, when you go watch it live, and all you've done is seen them on TV. There's this. You don't want to put people on pedestals. You know what I mean? They're people with specific skills, and they're very talented at what they do, and they put together these brilliant machines. But at the end of the day, they're you and I. With the tooling and the money and the backing and the brains and the dexterity with if you drive, it's there's not as much of a divide as maybe there could be. So like, go to live events. Like, if there's anybody out there that's watched us all these years and you haven't been to a live event, go.
Do it.
Small bots, big bots, doesn't matter.
Talk to the builders.
Yes, these people. There's a lot of these people that all they want to do. The reason that a lot of these
share their passion.
Absolutely. Yeah. Why else? I mean, it's a sunk cost. It's not like, it's not like there's huge. Well,
nobody is making money out of. No, very few people are making money out of robot combat. Right?
Yes, it's a passion.
If they you have to question why are they making money out of it. They should be making sure they have less money because of robot combat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Steve.
I have to do this question. After that very philosophical
bit of a tangent. Yeah, bit of a tangent.
Bit of a tangent. From that philosophical question to another, tend to be deeper philosophical question.
I feel like you had to cover the question from a fellow American,
Yeah, of course. So Charlie Hubbard.
It's a very deep question.
It is, and I think we've covered it in the past. So Charlie Hubbard,
it's controversial.
Of Good Rebuttal, asks for finality. Are ants animals?
Ooh.
Here I am walking along to the zoo.
Yeah.
Such a monkeys.
Such a strange meme.
Well, okay, actually, do you know what? Yeah. Okay,
the ants.
You do see ant farms at animals, don't you?
This is true. Yeah.
No, children have ant farms.
I mean, you do see the big colony ants. You do see them.
Do you call a fish tank a fish farm?
No, because you're not farming fish.
Kind of
but fish farms do exist.
Also,
though. Yes, they do.
Ant farm, complete. That's not a farm.
No.
What are you farming those ants for? Morning, love. What would you like in your sandwich? Oh, yeah, ants.
Fresh ants.
I would say they're insects.
And insects aren't animals?
Mm.
Have I just opened Pandora?
I don't know.
You have.
The box,
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they lack some kind of Can you train insects?
Ask Dr. Pym.
Have you seen a flea circus?
Yeah.
I would say ants are not animals. They are insects, which are distinguishable enough.
And the beat goes on.
Yeah.
And the beta weight seed is ruined.
Yep.
Sorry, the ant weight seed is ruined.
Speaking of the beta weight seed,
is a feather an animal?
Is a feather an animal? It's a part of one.
Certainly from birds, but who knows what they are.
Or dinosaurs.
Okay.
The bird was a flamingo the whole time.
Uh-huh.
Final question comes from Kokoto of Team Get Wrecked Robotics, and he asks, what are some of your favourite bots in the Beetleweight class? They can be from the US, UK, or anywhere else. Let's go for 3.
Yeah. It's the most prevalent insect class anywhere. It's exploded over here. It's exploded over there.
It doesn't have to be your top 3 either. Just 3 of your favourites.
3 of my favourites.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna say Wayo. Watching that thing in person is something else. It is just an absolutely frightening bit of kit. The way that it moves, the way that it deals damage out, the fight with Stratus at the BBB champs this year was unbelievable, and probably could have gone the other way had things gone a little bit.
It made the bar like that.
It really did. It was unbelievable. It was an amazing fight, and the technology in there it's on 8 cells. It's most
and it's so thin.
Yeah, it's 20 centimeters tall. So 20 mil tall.
Thinner than most people's motors.
Yeah, It is crazy. It is an absolute work of art, and Tim can be very proud of that, I think. Okay, so that's my European one. I'm gonna go for.
We're gonna go this way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for one from the UK. I like a lot of UK bots. Snappy. And Bop from Craig, obviously wonderful. Boom Zoom, fantastic. There's so many cool spinners as well. Stratus, I said already, is really cool. I've got a real soft spot because it was the first robot I ever lost to at Beetleweight as well, and just because it's a really cool robot and it's geared down for what?
Yeah.
Geared down for what? The way that it moves is just sensational. Gareth Barnaby, that man, him and his brushless, he is just a wizard. And he's got some really, really cool things coming in the next 12 months. But Gear Down for What was just, I mean, I that and Tosser are just excellent. But having had that part of personal connection with the first robot I ever fought was Gear Down for What in Beetleweight. So That's probably my UK one. US is tough.
US is tough because there's
a lot.
There's a lot. I mean, there's really a lot. I mean, we did see at time of recording, NHL just had their All Stars event, which was wonderful, by the way. All 3 of those live streams are up. That was a really cool idea. I hope they do it every year going forward because it was just cool.
I think it's the best event they did of the year, to be honest.
It just fun.
Yeah.
So doesn't have to be from that event.
No. Silent Spring, I was going to say Silent Spring is amazing, and again meeting Jameson and having a look at that robot in person is just it's just a work of art. It's so cool. Yeah. Synthesis, I've got a lot of time for Corey as well. He's got a brilliant robot. The fact that I lost to him kind of makes me feel so much better when I went to NHRL because he went on to beat Booty Brigade, who won the whole thing.
Yeah,
what a fight that was! By the way,
still one of the best fights of the year. If not the.
Of course, Positively Hysterical and First Drink of the Day, they're both excellent. But maybe a little bit left field, but I quite like it. I like Hot Wings.
You like Hot Wings?
I really like Hot Wings.
It's going about it a different way. Yeah. It's nice to see.
Yeah. The two solder hot ends or 3D print hot ends.
Yeah, those are they're diesel
ignition things.
Sparks.
Igniters in
igniters, yeah.
It's so insane. Good, and like the fact that the event that I went to, it did so well, and watching that kind of develop momentum, and it's just such a really interesting robot, and it goes about damaging people as well. It's using the rules to its advantage. Okay, yes, it's a lot heavier than most other robots, but that's within the rules, so it's using that to its advantage. It's tremendous. I really really like Hot Wings.
Nice.
And that's
it. That's it for questions.
Yeah. Thank you guys for the questions.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Like we've definitely had some good conversations.
No, I agree.
To kind of wrap everything up.
I should say before we do wrap things up, obviously, I'm sure people are wondering what's going to happen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Where's it going to go? Because obviously this is
for all 2 of you that have stuck around. That was also a thing you'd say.
Yeah, all 2 of you
still stuck with me.
Yeah, probably a few more than 2 now.
No, but I'm gonna get sad.
For those that, at least 3 now. For those who obviously are wondering where the podcast will go, it's not going to go anywhere. It's still going to be on this channel that you're subscribed to on YouTube, or this podcast feed that you're following on your various audio platforms of choice. Yeah. The YouTube channel will be rebranded to fall in line with everything else. It'll be the RoboCast YouTube channel. I think the plan is I'll still have the overarching control of the channel, but I'll set the other 3 as managers, which I think allows you to upload. I think
it's going to be interesting. We'll see how that works.
If not, we'll figure something out. We'll make sure that as and when we get them sorted, or as and when these guys get them sorted, the podcast will be up and posted and in your sub feeds as quickly as we can do. Same with social media things.
Executive producer going forward.
Yeah, I'm
basically.
I'm going to take it back.
Welcome to Studio SE64, the virtual studio, man.
Yes. Pulling all the strings in the background.
He's going to make sure that the RoboCast doesn't become like the second Lego Wars channel.
There's one.
Damn. Before we wrap up, Sam, I have got something short to share with you.
Okay.
And I need to try and work out how to do this. Oh God. This is a few messages from a few people.
Hey Sam, I hear you're having a baby. Congratulations. That is like the most awesome thing ever. Thank you for all your years of time on the RoboCast and all the countless episodes you've invited me onto. I wish you the best and have a great last episode.
Hey there guys, Diana here from Team Scorpios. I just wanted to say a huge congratulations to Sam and Sophie for their upcoming wonderful little bundle of joy. And we will miss you so much on the RoboCast. You were an amazing person and you deserve all the best. Congratulations, and we'll miss you.
Hey Sam, just wanted to wish you all the best, and I'm actually very sad that I won't get to have your sultry voice in my ear every week anymore. But I guess you've got some pretty cool things going on in life, so all the best with that as well. And I guess we'll just have to hang out more in real life, because that's the thing apparently. So anyway, all the best and love you, man.
Alright, buddy. So I'm on vacation / holiday. I've got to do both the American and English things in the mountains this week. And I just got a message telling me that you're leaving the RoboCast because you're having a baby. I think the missus is having the baby. I don't see what that's supposed to do with the RoboCast, my friend. You know, it's been wonderful. I remember meeting you for the very first time in 2016 at Robot Wars filming, and you were a very polite young man. And look at you now, you gobshite. Very best of luck. Stay in touch and everything. Let's keep talking about the villa. For now, anyway, until we mess it up. Anyway, buddy, I will see you hopefully with that Two-Headed Death Flamingo thing sometime in the future. Good luck, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you very much, guys. That's really lovely.
Yeah.
Had to get a few last guests in for you.
Yeah, of course.
Can you add another one for Tom Brewster, another one for Danby, another one for Diana? And,
update the spreadsheet.
I will also say a few notes. So Zach sends his love as well. He was asleep when I asked if they could do the recording, and he's been very busy this weekend.
Yeah,
so,
that's fine.
And Tom wanted me to make sure that I called you SamElliott64 one more time.
Of course, because that didn't get old, right?
No.
That's it. That's kind of... That is the end. Steve, best of luck. You're now in control. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. I have absolute faith in you, and obviously Jevan and David will be there.
Yeah, I got my two musketeers here. Will hopefully, keep me sane, keep me in line.
You'll be fine. Honestly, it's the most wonderful thing, and I've loved doing this for the last however many years it's been now. 7.5 years. My God,
7.5 years.
Yeah. So has been an absolute pleasure, and to everyone there who sent a message, and obviously everyone who's ever watched the RoboCast, thank you all so much. It means the world to me. It really does. Steve, lead us out.
All right. I've been Steve the American Killjoy.
I've been World of Woodrow.
I've been SamElliott64. I've been David of Smeg.
I have been SamElliott64, and I'm free!
He's
free!
Wow,
wow.
That's 7 years there.
That's 7 years of... 7 years of...
Wait. Let's do another one.
He's got a party popper. There we go. For audio listeners...
Just set up a lipo. It would have been much easier.
There is one behind...
Just hammer it in the background and end.
Well, I won't see you next time. These three, however, hopefully will have some BattleBots to talk about soon. What's the plan for content? Are you going to do some extra stuff? Are you going to do new things?
We'll see. There's a lot of workshopping.
We will see what happens.
Okay. Well, I guess I won't see you then, but these three will. Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.